we get into now my top 5 potential suitors here to take over an offensive coordinator for the Crimson Tide following the departure for Steve Sarkisian to the Texas Longhorns after the national championship game on next week between Alabama and Ohio State. Now, of course, on Sunday, we got the news of Bill O'Brien, former NFL head coach and general manager Bill O'Brien, visiting the University of Alabama football campus. Now, for what reason was he visiting? That was not made known, but Bill O'Brien was on the campus of UA on Sunday visiting Coach Saban and the program. And then behind Coach O'Brien here, you've got Coach Adam Gase, who was recently let go or fired by the New York Jets. And there were some reports going out there that, Alabama is entertaining the thought or the possibility of having Adam Gase with the program. Now, to me, if I was Coach Saban, the only reason why I would even entertain Bill O'Brien or Adam Gase is for offensive analyst purposes. Not offensive coordinator, but offensive analyst. And that's just due to, Alabama already losing Butch Jones to a head coaching job at Arkansas State. Also, Major Applewhite gone. AJ Milwee, who is going to go to either Arkansas State with Butch Jones, or he'll possibly go with Steve Sarkisian to the University of Texas. So I would bring in a Bill O'Brien or an Adam Gase in terms of just being an offensive analyst, not necessarily a coordinator. But if I had my choice of my top suitors for Alabama, that if you can get them Crimson Tide, get them. If you can make the phone call, Nick Saban, make the phone call. So from 5 to 1, Steven's top potential names here for suitors to be offensive coordinator for the Crimson Tide. At number 5, give me Andrew Souder. Andrew Souder at number 5, the offensive coordinator at Kent State, the Golden Flashes. Now, of course, Kent State did not play just a whole bunch of games this season. They had about 4 to 5 games because of the COVID situation. But during those 4 to 5 games Kent State played in, they had the number 1 scoring offense in the country with Andrew Souder. Kent State averaged 49.8 points per game. Of course, Coach Saban is an alumnus of Kent State University. He played football for Kent State. He was a graduate assistant at Kent State. So bringing in a Andrew Souder from the alma mater of Nick Saban would be a pretty interesting move. Would be a pretty intriguing move. He's a young guy, innovative guy, creative guy. Once again, even though the Golden Flash has only played 4 to 5 games this season, 49.8 points per game they put on the scoreboard. Number 5, I will look at Andrew Souder of Kent State, who specializes with quarterbacks and tight ends. At number 4, give me Jeff Lebby of Ole Miss. This is a very sneaky, good, quality, deceptive, underrated hire. If Coach Saban could bring this in, I really like Jeff Lebby. And the reason why I do, he's been a little bit of everywhere in terms of developing talent. When you look at, he went to Oklahoma, was a quarterback or played for the Oklahoma Sooners there. His coaching career started off in terms of mainstream at Baylor. He was at Baylor for 9 seasons, 2008 to 2016. And during his time at Baylor, Jeff Lebby, an offensive quality control coach, a running backs coach, a passing game coordinator, and an offensive recruiting coordinator. We're talking about he produced three 3,000-yard passers, Robert Griffin III, Nick Florence, and Bryce Petty. We're looking at 3 1,000-yard backs, Kendall Wright, Terrence Williams, Antoine Goodley. 5 1,000-yard receivers, Kendall Wright, Terrence Williams, Antoine Goodley, Corey Coleman, and K.D. Cannon. 3 1,000-yard rushers in Lay Seastrunk, Shock Linwood, and also Terrence Williams also. So you see the work there they did there with the Baylor Bears. And then he goes to UCF, Central Florida, 2018 to 2019. He had the likes of a team that went 22-4, of a team on average averaged 43.3 points per game. He produced a 3,000-yard passer in Dillon Gabriel, a 1,000-yard rusher in Greg McCray, and a 1,000-yard receiver in Gabriel Davis. And so now at Ole Miss, he's got a 3,000-yard passer in Matt Corral. Not a lot of people were sold on Matt Corral, but Jeff Lebby got Corral to pop. Corral completed 70.9% of his passes this season. He's also got a 1,000-yard receiver in Elijah Moore. So Jeff Lebby, to me, a deceptive, sneaky, good, underrated hire. If Alabama can pull it off with him, he would be my number 4 name. My number 3 name, as far as a potential suitor, give me Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze is not a stranger to the SEC. He has been here before. In coaching Ole Miss from 2012 to 2016, he actually beat Nick Saban in 2 of those years, 2014 and 2015, with Bo Wallace in 2014 and Chad Kelly in 2015. With Hugh Freeze, he has produced quite a few 3,000-yard passers. When you look at Ryan Applin during his time at Arkansas State in 2011, a 3,000-yard passer. Of course, Bo Wallace, a 3,000-yard passer for Ole Miss in 2013 and also 2014. Chad Kelly, a 3,000-yard plus passer in 2015. Even Stephen Calvert, a 3,000-yard passer last season in Hugh Freeze's first year at Liberty. Calvert, 3,663 passing yards. So we know what Hugh Freeze can do here with quarterbacks. We know what Hugh Freeze can do with wide receivers. He had Dwayne Frampton at Liberty. He had Laquan Treadwell at Ole Miss. He even had Antonio, he had Dwayne Frampton at Arkansas State, Laquan Treadwell at Ole Miss, and Antonio Gandy Golden at Liberty. So he's also innovative. He is also creative. He's also somebody that loves to take shots downfield with his quarterbacks to these open receivers. He can balance out the run and pass game. And once again, when you talk Hugh Freeze, not a stranger to the SEC. He's been here before. From 2012 to 2016, he was the head coach at Ole Miss. 2 of those years, beat Alabama, beat Coach Saban, and the 2015 season, he guided Ole Miss to a 10-win campaign. So if you can make the call to Hugh Freeze, make the call to Coach Freeze. He would be my number 3 guy. My number 2 guy, give me Luke Getsy. Give me Luke Getsy, who is the passing game coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. He's got the Packers playing great football right now. And Luke Getsy under Matt LaFleur, the Packers right now 13-3 on the season. They have locked up the number 1 overall seed in the NFC playoffs. Will get that first round bye. Aaron Rodgers is playing like an MVP right now, and it's because of Luke Getsy. Aaron Rodgers, a 4,000-yard passer this season, 4,299 yards, 48 touchdowns, just 5 picks, with Aaron Jones, the running back, a 1,000-yard guy, 1,104 yards, 9 touchdowns. Devontae Adams playing sick, nasty, ridiculous out of his mind, 1,374 yards receiving for him, 18 touchdowns. The Packers this season averaging 31.8 points per game. That leads the NFL. Luke Getsy is doing a fantastic job. The 36-year-old, young, savvy, confident, innovative, and Nick Saban, he likes those NFL guys that have college experience and are not afraid to recruit and are willing to recruit. And I feel like Luke Getsy would be one of those guys that will be able to go out there, recruit. And could you imagine the Green Bay Packer offense being ran at the University of Alabama? That'd be pretty sexy. That'd be pretty cool there. So he would be my number 2 name, which would lead me to the number 1 name for me. The number 1 guy. And if I'm Nick Saban, I make the phone call, I go get this guy, and that's Joe Brady, who was the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers this season. Things did not go according to plan for him, but we know what Joe Brady's capable of. In one season, he turned Joe Burrow from a 6th-round pick to the #1 overall pick. In one season, he turned Joe Burrow from a no-name to a Heisman. In 1 year, he turned Joe Burrow from nothing to the freshest thing since Air Forces, the freshest thing since the stimulus check, the freshest thing since a newborn baby. I mean, Joe Brady turned Burrow into a superstar in 1 year, had him have the greatest college football season by a quarterback. When you look at Joe Brady got Burrow to complete 70+% of his throws for over 5,000 yards, 60 touchdowns, 6 picks, a Heisman Trophy winner, and not just what he did with Burrow, what he did with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a 1,000-yard back, made him a first-round pick. What he did with Justin Jefferson made him a 1,000-yard receiver and a first-round pick. What he did with Jamar Chase made him a 1,000-yard receiver and the Biletnikoff Award winner. What he did with Terrace Marshall helped him catch 13 touchdown passes, set him up for success. What he did with Thaddeus Moss. Joe Brady did a whole lot of things in 1 year with that LSU football team. And if I'm Nick Saban, since he's on this list of potential suitors, if I can get him, make that call, bring Joe Brady into the program. But that would be just, my 5 guys. Those would be the 5. If I'm Nick Saban, pick up the phone, baby. I know you home, baby. I would make that call out to one of those 5 guys. I would have all 5 in for an interview, definitely. But I would hire any one of those 5 guys to be the next offensive coordinator here for the Crimson Tide. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.